So we're going to go ahead now and mask up the kill stripes, but before we mask them up we have to draw them on. There's 14 individual stripes that go across the side of this helmet, and they fade from a yellow to an orange. But before we start worrying about the colours and stuff, we need to mask them in. And instead of ironing them all in, I made myself a little template. I'll supply a link to a thread which shows you how to make one of these little templates. They really are handy. Basically, you want to start off. I always start off with the one in the dent, in the scratch here. I start off with the kill stripe to the scratch. I go ahead, then I finish up to the one to the dent. I work my way back then with the rest of them. So for this, I'm just using a regular pencil, which needs to be sharp. Make sure it's nice and sharp. You don't want it too sharp. Well, you want it sharp, but you don't want to be pressing too hard, because you don't want to ruin your paint job. You want to make sure that you have the markings visible. So, like I said, we'll start with the one inside the kill stripe. Okay, I got reference image. A reference image down below me, which I can constantly refer to. Okay, so we'll go there. There's our first one. There's our second one. There's our third one. Which one? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. I don't know if they're showing up on camera. You can sort of see them where I've masked them out in the light there. But they're the first 5 laid out. There's 14. So I have to do that 14 times. I could sit here and let you watch me do all 14, or we could fade out to where I've masked them all up and I'm starting to apply the tape. So I've gone ahead and I've drawn on where we want the kill stripes to go. We now need to start masking them off. Now there's 2 methods that I use to mask these off. First one, I use our nice little yellow detail tape to outline the top and the bottom of where they start. Then we take our thick tape, we lay it down on our cutting mat, and we're going to cut it into very thin strips, and we're going to outline either side of the kill stripe. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead, I'll pull my yellow tape off, okay, put it down where I want it to start. I might have to take my gloves off a moment, not like a... Okay, so put it down. Top, bring it around, make sure it's nice and even. There's the top line edged in. Go ahead and do the same for the bottom now. Make sure it's nice and stuck down. Like so. I'm going to line off the first kill stripe. We'll line off the last one. Which is there. Don't want to see that now. But there's our, that's what our kill stripe's going to be. I'm going to go ahead now. Move this little tablet. Get our tape. I'll do it over by here, as you can see But yeah, I don't want to be moving the camera around too much. Okay, I'm just going to get the tape. And I lay it down. Take my scalpel ball. Cut it down the centre. Throw these two bits away. Okay, and then this nice thin strips you want to cut this into. About 2 mil thick. You don't want them too wide, otherwise they won't fit. The idea with these is we'll pull them off. Okay. And we'll just start blocking out our kill stripes. Okay. I'll do 2, and then I'll fast forward ahead. So we're applying some masking fluid because there is some very minute damage on the kill stripes. Cut a nice little thick bit here. Go in the centre. Okay, that's the start of our first one. As you can see, it's a very tedious process. There's no fast way of doing this. But trust me, once you've removed the tape, these are the most impressive things on the helmet once you start painting them. They really do look great if you do it right. These are a little bit better thickness. Get it on, make sure there's no gaps. Okay, as you can see, there's our first 2. But then I'll do 1 more, and then we'll go ahead and skip ahead to me applying the fluid like I said a moment ago. So apply the tape, like so. That one doesn't look that straight, to be honest with you. It's even worse. You know, lay the tape down right the first time, and you'll be really pleased with the results later on. There we go. There are 3 kill stripes maxed in, so I'll go ahead now, finish these up, and we'll cut the mask. Okay guys, so I've gone ahead, masked up the helmet. Amazingly, there is a helmet underneath all the bags. You want to be really thorough, you don't want to be ruining your lovely new paint job. With all nice yellow spray and orange misting. So make sure you bag it up nice and well. Do the same method we done with the dome and the back panels. Just make sure it's covering everything. The tape is still underneath. I've just gone as close as I possibly can to the edge without overlapping the detail area we want to paint. Just a word of note as well, thoroughly make sure these are stuck down, there's no gaps, because if you get any runs you're going to have a really bad day. You've got 3 layers of green underneath here, and if you ruin it with the top coat, you're going to have to, if you can't get it off, you're going to have to literally strip it all down and start over again, and it's not fun. So we're going to go ahead now and mask out these damaged. There is damaged areas on the kill stripes. I'm actually using Boba Fett's template for this. You can see there's a little damages and there's missing bits. So we're going to go ahead and paint these in now with our masking fluid. Yeah, it's the same process as last time, but this time we're freehanding it, so you need to take your time, be careful with it. Constantly use reference pictures. Just take your time. This is this new Windsor and Newton stuff I mentioned earlier. So actually, it's holding up pretty well. I'd still prefer the Humbrol stuff, but this will do for now. I had a bad experience with kill stripes on a customer's helmet. If you're from the RPF or the dented helmet, you would have known about the big prop party that was thrown in the NEC in Birmingham. I was helping out there on the show on the dented helmet section, and we had to I had a client who asked for a paint job done, and if he could pick it up at the show, you know, the helmet was going to go on display for a bit, and he'd pick it up when it was all over. And it was the night before, and the last thing I'd done was the kill stripes. That's why I do the kill stripes now. I had to put the kill stripes on. I put it on, and it was a bad paint mixture. It was rushing, and it was terrible there. It ran through all the paint, and this is about 12 o'clock at night. I had to be up at 4 to travel up to Birmingham to get to the time for the show. And I ended up having to carefully go in with paint thinner to remove the kill stripes that I'd painted on. Luckily, it all turned out okay. I managed to move them on, and I took the helmet back home after the show and I painted it up and then posted it off. But after that, I always make sure that I thoroughly stuck this tape down, as I couldn't handle that again. It was horrible. So you're just gonna keep referring to your reference images where you're going to prepare the paint. So this means now, once we spray the yellow, we mist it on with the orange. Once we pull it off, you'll have the green showing through, and it'll look like the kill stripes have started to chip away, which is pretty cool. Okay, so this is pretty much the same process for all of it. That's 5 kill stripes I just maxed out, so you can see it. So as usual, we'll fade out and we'll go to misting the yellow and the orange down. I'll show you how to do that, even with our cheaper airbrush. Okay.